Hi, it's Tink here from Project Everest. Just following on from some of the other videos we've made on why we are for profit and some of our definitions for social enterprise. What I want to touch on is one of the key things around attracting people into this space and understanding, like, as a millennial, like, why is there a lethargy to helping people in the developing world? Like, what is the basis for that? And what about some of our definitions of how we can get to parity in the rest of the world and get rid of inequality? So what I want to cover is basically the abundance versus scarcity model, and also one of the key driving factors around that in getting people to work in this space and understand it better. So I'm going to start with abundance versus scarcity. Throughout macroeconomics, it's always been a case that macroeconomics is the study of the distribution of limited resources. And we implicitly know, that if everyone was to consume like Australians, we would need 5, maybe 10 Earths to be able to handle the resources, the amount of resources we use. So when we look at the pyramid in terms of people around the world, there's 4 billion that live on less than $5 a day. And we are up the top here in terms of our wealth. Now, this is the case of these 4 billion, that 60% of the planet is in a situation of relative poverty. And this is the people that we're trying to work with and to trade on equal basis with, to help them get out of this situation by providing socially beneficial products and services. But as young people, we believe, and our understanding is that if these 4 billion people were to live like us, we would need 5+ planets to make this happen. And that's a valid point, and that's a valid thing that gets brought up consistently. What I want to do is look at two views of the world. Firstly, that there is a limited amount of resources, and so therefore that is a problem, versus an idea of abundance. So the idea of abundance is that in nature, if you look at my bad drawing of an orange tree, okay, if you see an orange tree in nature, there's an abundance of oranges on this tree. And there's enough to feed you, your family, your community. And if you look at how much land or agricultural resources are needed for each person, it's a very small amount that's needed, and ultimately the world creates a lot in terms of output. Now, the problem is that as a person, you can only reach the bottom branches of that tree and access the oranges that are in your reach. If you have a simple technology like a ladder, in my bad drawing, you can reach much higher and get to the further fruit in the tree. And so in the world, naturally, there is abundance. However, the issue is access. And access is bridged through technology. And I want to give you an example in terms of how this applies to the projects we work on and what we believe. Water is one of the most abundant resources on the planet. 70% of the world's world is covered in water, all right? And yet, lack of access to clean drinking water is the single biggest killer on the planet. Every 90 seconds, a child dies from a waterborne disease. It's responsible for about 4% of deaths worldwide in terms of access to clean drinking water. So there's a hugely abundant resource. The problem is that 97.5% of the water on the planet is salt water, and about less than 0.5% is in the air, and a lot of the remainder is used for agriculture. And it creates a lot of pressure on this world to be able to provide this clean drinking water. But given that there's enough water in the air to provide clean drinking water for everyone, one of our key projects is around an air to water generator system that will cost less than the cost of a mobile phone. So when you look at this, pulling water from the air in a country like Timor-Leste with high temperatures and high humidity, this is a way that we can get access or bridge that problem of access so that we can get the water that we need and people can live and have the social benefit of that. And also it provides a secondary benefit in that the air to water generator system is something that's completely off-grid. So it saves governments having to create infrastructure around piping and everything to provide clean drinking water to the people. Here's a solution that can be implemented relatively quickly, and it's completely standalone. And when you join it with solar, then it can be totally off-grid without power or anything. And further, solar and the exponential growth curve that it's on, with a reduction in price, we're moving towards a future where we can take salt water using the power generated by solar to convert it into fresh drinking water available for people all around the world. and already there's been large developments in this area, such as an Australian company called Sundrop, which I encourage you to look up. He's taking solar power, pumping saltwater from the ocean into the middle of the desert in South Australia and using that to create tomatoes, and they're now Australia's biggest producer of tomatoes. So this is an area where, if you believe in an abundant planet, which is what is at the core basis of our methodologies, and you can see that the nature is abundant, we just need to provide access, and that access is bridged through technology. And so our projects are designed around using that technology to provide access to the 4 billion that live on less than $5 a day. That's our key methodologies, one of our key beliefs. And I encourage you to have a look at the rest of the videos on our website, which show a bit more in depth about our methodologies and how we do that, some of our definitions and some of the other key aspects. So have a look, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.